So we are live today during a live stream on Saturday afternoon. I don't even know what day this is, like the 16th of September, I think. And I was loading up into a fight here, and I happened to be checking YouTube comments while we were loading, and I saw one that would be perfect for one of our YouTube Q&A sessions. So we're gonna do this one here for the live stream, but also answering this person who will get up on the screen when I do it in post. There will be something up here showing. Somebody's username dig that hole 5521 asked the question. This is on the video I did about 10 things not to do, 10 beginner mistakes to avoid in Baldur's Gate 3, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. He says, I did get a little ways into the game, and one aspect puzzled me, the unknown situation and what to do. For example, the first fort or base you find that was attacked by trolls, you can find a dwarf or something in a side path that is hurt and unresponsive. Couldn't find anything to do with him. So in these situations, is there a quest I have to start first, maybe an action I'm not trying, or simply a piece of dialogue I need to open up? In my short time, I found a few of these situations. Since I'm out of my element on a game like this, it's hard to figure out the game rules and strategies. This is a brilliant, brilliant topic to discuss. So, this taps into one of the coolest parts of tabletop gaming, which I think Larian Studios has translated perfectly into this game, and that is the uncertainty of every single thing you come across. When you're sitting around a table with your friends and you're playing actual tabletop, very rarely is it ever about, or at least in the campaigns that I manage, it's the rules are there, but they are secondary to the player experience. The player experience is the number one most important factor. And when you're at that table with other people, it's how everyone is reacting to the situations and to the dice rolls and ad-libbing lines and role-playing their characters, coming up with creative solutions, the banter between party members. Like, these are all factors that translate into it's never a known entity. Even as a DM, even as someone who has come in and created massive worlds and massive campaigns for players over the years, you can't account for every variable, and there's always going to be the unknown, but that's part of what makes tabletop so much fun because you don't know what's going to work in any given situation, and that allows you the freedom to use your imagination and try lots of different things. One of the things Larian Studios I think achieved, I think a lot of people were doubtful when they were talking about the numbers. In the lead up to the launch of Baldur's Gate 3, there was all this talk of 17,000 permutations of things in the game. Like, there's all these different ways that different things can happen. There's over 300 encounters. They're handcrafted. They've got different versions on tactician mode. It's a big, 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 big beast of a game, and they've mocapped all of it, and it's just amazing. Anytime you come into a situation like what you're describing here, whether it's the dwarf, what does it say? You said the dwarf in a side path that was hurt and unresponsive. The first fort or base you find that was attacked by the trolls. Okay. So, he said, couldn't find anything to do with him. Is there a quest I have to start first? Maybe an action I'm not trying, or simply a piece of dialogue I need to open up. So it could be any of those things, and it could be also something entirely different. So let's start with the entirely different first, because I'll get sidetracked and I'll forget. One of the coolest abilities that you have in the game is a spell called Speak with Dead. This spell is amazing. So you're going to either have this spell because you're a wizard or a mage of some type who's got that spell, a cleric or something, or there's an amulet you can get early on in Act 1 that I keep on my characters at all time because all I have to do is put it on and I can cast once per day per person. So I get 4 casts every single time between long rests. I get 4 casts of that spell. And the Speak with Dead spell allows you to talk with the majority of corpses that you come across in the game. Not all of them, but the majority. So that's one of the ways when you find corpses and things of that nature, talk to them. Always talk to them. The other would be to have Speak with Animals on, because it's similar to the Speak with Dead. Try to have somebody in your party who has Speak with Animals, because there are so many amazing conversations that you're going to completely miss out on, and quests even, and little side treasures and stuff you're going to completely miss out on if you don't have Speak with Animals. Um, Animal handling allows you to have a similar encounter with creatures, but you don't always get the same outcomes. Always, sometimes you do, but the outcomes are a lot. It's kind of like the dumbed down version because the animal handling is just you getting a sense of what the animal wants, whereas when you're actually speaking with animals, you're having a full conversation with them. And trust me, the voice cast for the animals in this game is freaking amazing, especially the cats, the squirrels, the dogs. Like, they have done a good job with getting voice actors who really sound like the creatures um, they're representing. It's brilliantly done in this game. So that's another aspect. He also mentioned, is there a piece of dialogue I need to open up? Possibly. You may need to inspect the body sometimes. Maybe an action I'm not trying. Yeah, unless it's related to a quest, I'm not quite sure there. Um, Quick commercial break, everyone, to give a shout out to our first official guild officer, Bubalonia, as well as all of the guild champions, and of course, all of the members who help keep me on the air full time. To join as a member, simply click that join button below and pick your tier, but you can also support with Super Chats on any live stream or premiere, or Super Thanks on any upload or YouTube short. Don't forget the Discord. Let's get back to the video. And then in terms of is there a quest I have to start first? In some cases, yes. There's going to be a quest associated with what you came across. But between having, speak with dead and speak with animals and stuff like that, having a torch on your character so that you can see in the dark is going to be important so you don't miss little things like that. But there's going to be a lot of situations where you just don't know how it can go. And I've been playing since the start of early access. I didn't go hardcore on early access. I went through 4 or 5 characters up until about 2 months before launch, and then 2 months since before launch, about 2 months beforehand, we've been heavy on Baldur's Gate 3, and I've played through several different characters now through Act 1 in its entirety, and I can say that there is. They even said this, I think, in some of the press materials. Just in Act 1, I would say probably, 35 to 40% of each run through that I'm doing. I think their official numbers are like 33% or something. But there's let's say a 35% chance, just depends on what you play. Um, Everything you do is completely different the next time you go through just Act 1. And that's every time you go through. So it's like I'm always finding little things because I'm on my sorcerer today, or I'm on my beastmaster today, and this character's a drow, and this character's a forest gnome, and this character's a wood elf. Like, I'm getting all sorts of different interactions every time I play, and so that's part of what the game is designed around, is the replayability of you coming back to that dwarven corpse with a different party and having a completely different interaction with it because of either abilities you have or quests you picked up or side quests you did, things that you did in the game. Everything has like an action and a reaction in Baldur's Gate 3, and that is one of the reasons why it's like the best CRPG that I think most of us have ever played. Anyway, hopefully that answers your question. Dig that whole 5521. We're doing this live. We're going to be continuing on with the live stream. For those of you who are just watching the Q&A episode, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, leave your comments in the videos, and occasionally I did them with YouTube Q&A episodes like this. Daily streams at 11 a.m., a couple of streams every weekend on Saturday. Don't forget to check out all the playlists and, of course, the Discord. Links are down below.